Let's move on to our fifth battle. We have the Raichu Raiders versus the Dabbing Dratini. Still my favorite logo of the entire league. That Dabbing Dratini, I love it. Our first team of this battle being the Raichu Raiders, led by Hazel, playing for P Flag. Currently 11th place at 5-6, looking to even up that record going into this, even up the record and get it higher. Yeah, for the tournament, whatever. The OU Pokemon of the team, we have the Azumarill climbing up in some knockouts here at 4-4. The Breloom is at 12-7. Breloom still being the top performer of this team, and still just a really scary Pokemon in general here. The UU Pokemon, we have the Diggersby at 0-2 and the Staraptor is at 4-3. The RU Pokemon of the Goodra is at 3-4, Emboar at 3-5, and the Crocodile at 1-5. Three Pokemon that haven't been brought in a few weeks because this team has been going with more of its roster, which I've been loving to see. I've been loving to see the unpredictability and what different Pokemon this team can be using, and it's been pulling it off really well. The NU Pokemon, we have the Appleton at 1-5. The Bayleaf has not shown its face. The Vanillix is at 1-3. And the PU Pokemon, we have the Cinccino at 3-4. The Lilligant at 0-1. The Doublade at 3-1. And the Raichu, the namesake Pokemon, is at 5-10. Let's move on to our opponent here, which is the Dabbing Dratinis. We have Nightmare Enterprises running this team. I did get the bio change in. Let's go. Playing for Habitat for Humanity, currently 4th place at 8-3, looking to continue the dominance of these battles here. Only having 3 losses. No Shark Week, because Shark Week did not have a sweep last week. The Iron Moth is at 7-4, but the Iron Valiant is the second leading Pokemon of the team at 12-5, coming from some really good knockouts last week, and it's a Pokemon to be terrified of, which I have to battle Dabbing Dratinis next week. Knight, I am terrified to fight you. The UU Pokemon, we have the Skarmory at 8-3, and the Gastrodon at 1-3. The RU Pokemon on this team, we have the Chandelure at 2-3. The Ditto did show his face for the first time last week, but it did not be used. With the Sharpedo, the Shark Week, the Baby Shark, the just destruction shark thing at 18-5, though doesn't have the highest record. I think that falls to Goldango, who has one less feint than the shark does. But it's still tied for highest knockout in the league. Actually, is it? Or did something else climb above it? 18. Oh no, okay, that's also equal. We have 3 Pokemon tied for most knockouts in this league. Holy heck, that's crazy. The NU Pokemon, each Pokemon having no knockouts to its name. Only the Ninjask has been shown, though. There's that 2 in the Rotom having not been brought yet. Ninjask has been shown as a baton passer, and really pulled it off pretty well. Was it last week or I don't remember if it was a couple weeks ago, but yeah, Ninjask was just terrifying. We see the PU Pokemon. We have the Dugtrio at 8-5, the Gothitelle at 1-1, Absol at 0-0, another baton passer here, and the Pincurchin at 0-2. This is a very baton pass heavy team, actually, now that I'm looking at it. With Ninjask, with Absol, Gothitelle, I think, able to learn baton pass. Really good for setups on this team. Let's see the starting lineups of these two teams. The Raichu Raiders with the Raichu in that first slot. We also see the Azumarill, the Cinccino, the Breloom hiding behind the Diggersby, and the Lilligant showing up again. With the Dabbing Dratinis bringing the Iron Valiant, the Dugtrio, the Chandelure, the Iron Moth, yeah, that's his name, the Gothitelle coming back, and the Skarmory here. 2 trapping Pokemon here. Kind of scary, I think. I do need to do some research about it because I think I have some strategies, but I don't know. But anyway, let's move on and start off this battle. The Raichu Raiders leading with the Diggersby, with the Dabbing Dratinis leading with the Iron Moth. The Iron Moth immediately switches into the Skarmory, though. Probably a really good prediction here because the Diggersby is going for that Earthquake. The Diggersby switching into Cinccino here. with a spikes being set up by the Skarmory, by the B-52. The switch from the Skarmory into the Great Balls of Fire, Chandelure, with a Rock Blast going in. Is it going to hit 5 times? It is going to hit 5 times. We don't know if this is running Technician or Skill Link. So the Cinccino taking down the Chandelure with the Iron Maiden, the Iron Valiant coming out. The close combat, though, is going to bonk the heck out of the Cinccino here. The Diggersby comes back out. And the Fire Punch is going to outspeed, but it's not enough. For the close combat is definitely going to be enough to bonk the bunny here. But the Iron Valiant now at half defense and special defense is a little bit scary. The Azumarill comes out, and the Aqua Jet is going to be enough to take down this Iron Valiant. Each team just down 2 Pokemon. The Iron Moth comes back out, with the Aqua Jet doing such good damage, but not enough to take down the Moth. With the Sludge Wave is going to be enough to take down Azumarill. This is a very, very back and forth battle here so far. The Raichu comes back out. The switch from the Moth into the Gothitelle, with the Grass Knot doing a little bit of chip damage here. But this Raichu is now trapped in because of the Shadow Tag. The Grass Knot is going to do a little bit of chip damage, but the Gothitelle is going to go for that Cosmic Power and start to set up its defenses. Another Grass Knot, though. This is going to take a while, so it's going to be a lot of the same thing happening. I watched this battle already, so it is just a lot of just nothing for a couple turns. So I'm not going to say everything going on because it's just the same thing. I'm not going to do it. The stall shall continue. Alright, the Gothitelle is now going to be at max defense and special defense after this turn. So now the stall is being stopped. The Grass Knot, though, is going to do just only 4%, but the stored power is going to bonk the heck out of Raichu here. The Lilligant's then coming out. The Spike's doing a little bit of chip damage here as well, with the Sleep Powder putting the Gothitelle to sleep. A really good move here by this Lilligant. And the Quiver Dance now being set up by this Lilligant here. It's going to make it a little bit more survivable against this Gothitelle now. The Sleep Talk, though, is going to go for Cosmic Power, and it's not going to be the needed Sword Power. The Pollen Puff is going to do a little bit of damage, but the Gothitelle does wake up and goes for the Sleep Talk, which is going to fail because it's not sleeping anymore. Another Quiver Dance is now being set up by this Lilligant here. Is it enough to survive Sword Power, though? It is just enough to survive Sword Power. But it's going to have to land the Sleep Powder here. It doesn't go for the Sleep Powder. It goes for the Pollen Puff. Does a little bit of chip damage here, bringing it down to 4% HP. But it goes... the Gothitelle, expecting the Sleep Powder, went for the Sleep Talk. The Giga Drain, though, is going to do a little bit of chip damage, trying to get that recovery. But with the Life Orb, it's just not going to be enough. The Stored Power is going to take down this Lilligant. A really good attempt here from the Raichu Raiders to try and take down this Gothitelle. Breloom, though, is only left against this Hotel California. The Hidden Power is only going to do 3% damage, though, with the Stored Power just enough to take down Breloom. Really good games, both these teams. Trapping ability is insane. But Raichu Raiders had a really, really strong attempt against that Gothitelle. Just unfortunately was just not enough by that much. Good games to both of you, though.